Hey everyone. Well, I've got a flea market find here today and I'm a little torn on it. I'm a little torn on the fact that I got it for $8 and it appears it's worth a lot more. And also the fact that I don't really know if I should restore it or leave it as is. I hate to just kind of leave it the way it is. But let's look at what it is and, maybe you can make up your own minds on it. So I've got Muggsy and Mr. T here to say hi. All right, so this is it. I know it doesn't really look like much, and I didn't think it was anything really. I actually passed on it and then walked all the way back and grabbed it because I thought it would be a project of something I haven't done before. But what this is, it's a Skil Model 100 planer. And these, apparently, from what I just learned online, are highly collectible among surfboard manufacturers and enthusiasts. I don't know what sets them apart from another planer, but I paid $8 for it. It doesn't look bad. The cord's been patched and it's got some splits in it. It's pretty filthy, it's pretty rusty. So yeah, if this were something else, $8, yeah, is a maybe. I have a planer. I probably would never have thought to use another one, so I was going to restore it and just donate it out. And actually I offered it to Tyrone. I said, hey, I picked up this planer, do you need it? And he was like, no, I don't need one. And now I'm like, well, I'm glad he didn't say I'll take it. But anyway, that's I guess that's what we're going to work on. I know it does need to be rewired, and we'll grease it and all that, and then I'll have to decide on the cosmetics. It's definitely painted, so I would have to repaint it. And I don't know if that destroys the value. I just don't know. This is clearly needs to be painted regardless. But it seems to be complete, and I would bet it works. So anyway, so that's our mission for today. And as I said, I'm kind of torn on how far to take this. Definitely rewire. Definitely grease it and oil it. And then cosmetics, I don't know. I got to think about that. I know for me personally, I'd want to repaint it. Somebody else, though, might just say, yeah, you just wrecked all the value. I don't know. So either way, let's get busy. I'm going to take my chair, huh? You're not going to let me sit down there. All right. Muggsy's in the way, but we can at least examine the cord, see what's going on in here. I'm gonna need something to hold this up while I work on it. Too big. All right, so it looks like you can work on the switch and the cord right from here. Just these 3 screws, this top half should come off and we'll have full access. Oh, wow. Hoping I'm not blocking the camera here. Okay, those are all 3 the same screws. Let's see what we got going on in here. Okay, here's our switch. Here's our power cord. Wow, that is a heavy strain relief. This looks to be the original power cord. Let's take this switch out. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely an old cord. It's fabric cord. Got some wood shavings in there. Interesting. Let's look at this thing. Yeah. All right. I'm putting these screws right back in so I don't forget where everything goes. All right, black is on top and white is to there. So just so you can see, so we're going to disconnect the cord entirely. Are these looped? Yeah, they're looped. A little hard with you sitting there, Muggs. He'll get bored after a while. Okay. So this is a big strain relief, but look at it. It doesn't move, and we can't save it. It is molded around this wire. So there's really nothing we can do here since the cord is bad. No one ever broke the third prong off of it, but the cord itself is dry, and this is dry and cracking as well. So let's see what I can find, and we'll be right back. Well, while I was off gathering tools, Muggsy decided he was bored and moved on. All right, so this is a very heavy gauge power cord. Should be exactly what we need. All right, and let's see how much we need. So I'm using this as kind of a guide. Let's strip this thing down to about here. So as I always say, when stripping the outer insulation here, be very careful not to cut too deep. So it's a little awkward, but just go very lightly. And once you get this thing moving, it'll go pretty quick. And usually, once you get just starting to break through the outer insulation, you can flex it. So just keep an eye on it around and watch, because you'll see when you start breaking through. You can usually feel it too. Yeah, see, I can tell we're through. All right, so see, we're through most of the outer insulation. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flex it a little bit. Stretches it. We got one piece there that doesn't want to let go. Got it. All right. All right. So we got 3 terminal rings is what we need. The green is obviously shorter. Let's see what we need for the green. Green's about there. Now these, on the old power cord, these were non-insulated terminal rings, of which I don't have any, but that doesn't mean I can't just remove the insulation from these if I can't fit it in. I don't think for the ground it'll be an issue. right? Yeah, probably not. Possibly on the switch, it could possibly be. All right, so we're using a blue, which means we're gonna go to our blue setting, which is the middle here. Boy, I hope this thing works. Once you get it crimped, just test it. It's pretty strong. Let's do these guys. It's not long enough. Reds are a little smaller, and I think for the switch the reds are going to be okay. Let me take one of these screws out and see, because we don't have a lot of room here. Yeah, plenty of room with the reds. However, what I want to do is do a little test on how this thing actually fits in there. And see if I'm going to have to take this insulation off. Not a big deal, but I'd rather not have to do it. No, I'm not. Okay, I don't have to take the insulation off. So this time we're using red. And red may not do it. Oh yeah, there it goes. A little tight. Are we through? Yep, we're through. All right, so we're gonna crimp it with red. Test it. We're good. White we will also crimp with red. It'll fit. Okay, now these are going to go in and down. So probably the easiest way for me to do it is to simply bend the crimps up. So let me get a pair of pliers to do that. I'll be right back. While I'm at it here, I've got the switch out. I'm going to put contact cleaner in the switch, because as I've learned doing this, sometimes you get a problem with these switches. This is also pretty good at cleaning out debris. Let's take our black. What we want to do is we want to bend it right at the edge and make that out of it. I'm going to do that with both. black in first. Alright, so this strain relief is not as big as what was on there, but it should still do it. Of course, I already bent these and everything, so it's going to be a little trickier getting these through. Try one at a time. And the black's right there, I can see it. There we go. There's the green coming through. Let's put this switch back in place. Let's make sure our wires are pretty much where we want them to be. Switch goes there. These wires, we got room. Yeah, we got room. Alright, around it. That's in place, put the switch back. Put our wires down in so we're not breaking anything. We're out of the way of that. That's good. Not out of the way of that. But now we are. Let's put our switch screw in. Trigger is in. Insulation is in. Everything's tight. Body cover. It's weird about this. I don't know if this had a purpose. This up here, because I don't know, the cable kind of sits on top of it. I don't care for that, but hey, Mugsy's back. Yeah, it's hot today. Very hot. I can feel it. You've been out in the sun. All right, these guys need some cleanup. Let me get my wire brush. All right, I've got my goggles on, and what we're going to do is we're going to just wire brush these screws a little bit. You want to wear gloves doing this. Put these back in and see what it does. Hope it works. And once we determine that, we'll figure out what we're going to do with the rest of it. All right, let me get my cord. As with all of these, I run it through this switch first, off, that's on. So we put the switch off, and then we plug the power cable in and hit on. And this is just to see if there's anything else really going on with it, because I didn't go in here, I only went in there. So we hit on, nothing happened. So let me put on my rubber glove and we'll fire it up, I hope. Wow, that works and it runs smooth. Wow. That's shot out. I don't know if the camera could see it. That shot out a ton of dust. All right, so we're good. This thing runs good. It sounds like. All right, let's look at this thing. I don't know how any of this works. This we got to paint. I don't know if it slides off. Is anything holding it on? Let's look at what's under here. This is a journey for me. I've never done one of these. Let's look at what's under here. It looks like a belt cover. And I suppose that's exactly what it may be. And that is exactly what it is. It's a belt cover. Everything's pretty clean. There does not appear to be any oiler points, although that screw is hollow. You don't want to get oil on the belt though. This is interesting, is that it's very yellowed in there. The belt looks excellent. Oh, well, it is stiff, but it's a Skil 10625. All right, so if you are ever restoring one of these, you may find this necessary to do. So here's our belt. A Skil 10625 Type 3. All right, I'm actually just going to put the belt cover back on because I don't think there's anything for us to do in here. I don't plan on taking this cover off unless I have to. I guess we got to check the brushes. So we don't have a gear mechanism that needs to be greased. We've just got a belt drive, and I would think there's a place to oil it, although I don't see it. It's got to just come off. Yeah, it does. It does. It comes off in the back. All right. Well, we can oil the rear bearing there. I am not 100% sure what this does. All right, let's see. Does it just come off? Boy, I wish I had better eyesight. It looks like this comes off, but I'm not 100% sure yet, so let's not do that. Let's examine the brushes and see how they are. Brushes are solid. Yeah, the brushes are fine. At least that one was. And I'm going to assume they wore evenly, so that would be my guess, is the brushes are good. All right, so instead, let's clean out the motor with dry lube. There's very little left in this can, so we're just gonna jump to a new can. You can buy this stuff on Amazon, and it's really good for cleaning and lubricating motors. This is an oiler hole, it looks like, so we'll be able to oil the rear bearing. But first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna clean the inside of the motor, and to do that, we're just gonna spray it in and let it run out. All right, that's an oiler hole. Let's put some oil in there. Okay, let's take this piece and looks like it's supposed to be bright metal. Let's see. Looks like it. I'm gonna wire brush this. Okay, we got all the rust off of it. That was my goal, not to take this thing down to bare metal. Just take the rust off of it. It's a height adjuster. It all works fine. So I don't know if there's that much more I can do with this. Other than clean it, really, and then decide if I'm going to paint it or not. The tag is in great shape. Overall, the entire thing's in pretty good shape. Well, let's wire brush this guy and then paint it. This is by far the worst looking part of it. Alright, it's about ready for paint. I'm going to use hammered black on it. It does not require primer. Alright, I'm going to use Rust-Oleum hammered black. I don't know why the camera's so dim. Hopefully that's not shooting that way. I don't know. This is very durable. Can be painted directly over bare metal without primer. I took the handle off and cleaned it. It really doesn't need anything. I put a little oil on the threads of this just so it'll come out easier next time. Alright, it's all cleaned up. It's about as clean as I'm gonna get it. It's a little sticky. Okay, so here's where we're at. So it looks okay. It looks like a workable tool. The tag came out great, looks fantastic. This looks good, that cleaned up well, but there's not much I can do about the body. The electrical's all set. So this is where I need your help. Please leave a comment. Do you think I should take this to the next level and paint it and really get it to look like new? Or if you think because it's collectible, I really need to leave it the way it is. And I'm kind of torn. I know this is a shorter video than normal simply because I'm not doing much for cosmetics other than a cleanup and painting the air outlet. But I'm also torn because the guy I bought this from, he's at the flea market fairly regularly. I bought several things from him. I don't think he had any idea that this was actually valuable. I think he just thought it was a rusty old tool. So I'm kind of thinking if I do turn around and sell it, throw it on eBay or something like that, I'm gonna have to pay him back. I'll at least split it with him. Let's put it that way, which I'm sure he'll be quite happy with. Since he's the guy I got the Black & Decker Harvest Gold drill for 50 cents. It's that guy. So most of the stuff he has is you know, in that price range, although occasionally he's got nicer things. But this, $8, it was the first thing I saw that he had, and I like I said, I walked by it and I was like, yeah, I don't need another planer. I don't want to work on those. But I went back for it. I'm glad I did. But so anyway, leave it in the comments what you think I should do with it. If you enjoyed this video, as short as it is, don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you found it helpful and informative. And hey, most of the tools I do aren't worth anything. They're, well, not nothing, but they're not particularly collectible. They're just fun to work on, fun to use. They look good and they're useful, and I like bringing them back to life. This is different. This is actually highly sought after and highly collectible. But if you see something like this, you never know, you might get lucky. All you gotta do is pick it up, take it home, go out and get busy. Take care.